Hannah, what are your thoughts on love versus infatuation?
Yeah. So I think that in our culture, there's a lot of ideas about one true love. We get these a lot from princess movies or even TV shows. I mean, like, I was watching a lot of TV shows at a young age that kind of shaped my brain around thinking that when you feel butterflies and when you feel like giddy about somebody, that you like can't stop thinking about them, that is love. And I remember as a kid just being like, what does love feel like? And then when I experienced those butterflies and those things, I was like, oh, this is love, and this is my one true love. So I have to really hold on to it. And as well as, like, if we even talk about how oxytocin is released in the brain from holding hands and kissing and things like that, that like when that also contributes to that infatuation, those feelings, those oxytocin feelings feel really good. And so, like, if you're newly meeting somebody and you're already like making out with them, then you're already bonding to that person, and those things that feel really good, they start making it harder to see who the person is. Love is not always a feeling. Like, sometimes you can have those giddy feelings about somebody, and that's not a bad thing. But love is consistent over time, and it's a choice. It's seeing the whole person, all their flaws included, but knowing that this person is kind to you, and that this person is safe, and that this love is also a choice to show up.
Yes.
And so when I started feeling infatuation and feeling those oxytocin feelings, that made me feel trapped and locked in with this person. And that led to being in an unhealthy, unsafe relationship. I spent a lot of time trying to chase butterflies, and the thing about butterflies is that they're really fast. And infatuation is like that the feeling is like gone before you even realize. It's like you try to catch that butterfly, and it's never productive. Like, it's just it leads to a lot of pain, a lot of scraped knees. So how do you think that culture and some of the media that we're exposed to these days lead into this idea of one true love or infatuation, like encouraging infatuation over like building intimate, not like, I also think about the difference between intensity versus intimacy, and just like, I feel like, how do you think culture handles this dynamic between intensity and intimacy? Do you think they encourage one over the other?
It's social media. Social media is tough because there's good that comes from it, and there's also, we've all heard that people share their highlight reels, and they share just specific tiny glimpses of their life. And I think as humans, honestly, no matter our age, but I feel like especially for those in younger generations, it's easy to compare even when you're not really thinking about it. Like, if you notice that you're scrolling and you're seeing all these what seem to be very good, very healthy relationships, and you're just seeing constant videos and just constant replays of people's highlights in their life, it's gonna impact you. You might notice that you don't feel, I know I have experienced this, where I just feel drained and almost discouraged when I get off social media after scrolling, and I don't always feel like I'm comparing my life and my circumstances to people, but it truly impacts, I think, our brain, just our brain chemistry, when we're seeing those things constantly, and we're not always seeing like the life that's happening behind these short snippets that we're on social media. And so
that's good.
The intensity is definitely there.
Yes. And I also remember when I was growing up that there were a lot of like influencers that, I think before influencers were influencers, but there was like couples that were famous as couples, and they would post pictures and videos of them like cuddling or making out or things like that. And I feel, and then the TV shows that I would watch where I think you just get these, like a guy likes a girl and then it's like, bam, it's like just fireworks and chemistry right away. And I think that really highlights what intensity is like. And seeing those pictures and videos of like the influencers that are popular as like a couple modeled to me what it was like I was supposed to do when I got into a relationship, that it was like expected to be making out already or expected to be cuddling in bed together.
Yes.
And so when I let culture shape my boundaries versus knowing what was actually healthy or safe, what level of commitment is there for the level of oxytocin I'm allowing to be released. Because if you think about oxytocin being bonding, then and you're releasing that oxytocin, but you don't have commitment there, then what happens when that relationship breaks or falls away? It leaves that bond is kind of a rip, you know? And so that was really painful. I've experienced that. People would tell me that, like older people would be like, hey, you know, level of commitment, or like they would say these healthy, wise things. And I was just like, yeah, but this feels good. And this is what culture tells me to do. And like, it just didn't click for me. And so connecting in and being like, oh my gosh, I did feel that rip, or I felt those heartbreaks. And those are things that I wish I would have slowed down to not experience those things without having the safe container to experience those things. Commitment in marriage marriage is the only level of commitment strong enough to hold experiencing sex and experiencing like lots of oxytocin.
Yes.
And so I think just moving forward in my life, when I choose to start dating again, those are things I'm going to be thinking about, like what level of oxytocin I want to be releasing for the commitment that I'm having. And then also being mindful that love is not intense. It's not these big, like dramatic romance movies. That love builds over time, and it's building trust with somebody and seeing somebody kind of over a period of time, observing them with their friends, with their family, observing them and how they treat you. Not just I think even in chivalry, that like a man can open your car door and you can be like, wow, this feels really good. But I think even in unhealthy relationships, that can be even part of the infatuation. So that's not always like a green light that this person is like, I've had really unhealthy relationships that started with the guy opening my car doors and giving me flowers. And then those things like fell away after a while. So seeing somebody over a period of time, being able to be consistent in who they are, I think builds that safety.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
that's good.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.